The New Species product line of high-potency nutritional supplements empower your body to fight for you so you can enjoy your life full of energy, strength, and endurance.
Our mission at NuSpecian is to offer products to help purify and rebuild your body system so you can lead a better, longer life.
NuSpecian formulas are designed to comprehensively meet your body's nutritional needs. A tablespoon can replace many bottles of tablets filling your cabinets. NuSpecian raw plant-based ingredients are easily absorbed and used by your body. It's safe and effective nutrition that you can really feel. Each of our formulas is designed to support your body as a whole, allowing it to do the work it was designed to do.
My labs have shown that my body's gotten stronger, so I know NuSpecian works.
Maintain, improve, or rebuild your health with the help of NuSpecian.
Order now at NuSpecian.com.
Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecian Live. I'm Mary, not Jillian, filling in today.
And I'm Aston, and thank you, Mary, for filling in today. Jillian is off doing better things for NuSpecian and for you.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you.
So, NuSpecian's mission is to help our clients to live longer and better.
Of course.
We provide powerful plant-based formulas that are designed to help your body be resilient against the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey, and what makes a good health choice means something different for each one of us. Mm-hmm. That's why we host our Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. so that you can ask the questions that will keep you moving toward your health goals. So if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, thank you so much for joining. But if you intend on commenting or asking any questions, we will need you to come on over to our website. It should only take you 1 minute. Just go to NuSpecian.com, click on the live stream in the menu, and then click on the Q&A. You can also submit questions in advance during the week on the NuSpecian app. Just provide your email address with your submission, and we'll send you the clip when your question is answered. We'd like to get everyone connected with us, so please join our list and download our app. We want to keep you informed about any new education that we're doing, discounts that we might have, and any other announcements. So please fill out the form that Kayla's going to link in the chat. This will allow us to email to you. It will allow us to send you snail mail if we're going to do
And they can share it with friends.
Right. So you can share with friends or family. So we can email, send you text messages, and send you physical mail. I promise we're not going to barrage you with a whole bunch of stuff. We're careful and only send things now and again.
We're just gonna send you what you need to help yourselves and your family. So, and then, a lot of you missed a lot of discounts. Now, if you want to get these discounts that we do, you need to be on the email list.
Yes. And then you'll get notified about announcements that we have, which are important. I'm going to go over a couple of those right now. So Bronxville has been on adjusted hours for the last 2 weeks while Shahrazad was away on her vacation. She will be back next week, so we'll be back to our regular hours of 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Is that starting Monday or Tuesday?
Tuesday through Saturday. So that will be next week. We'll be back to regular hours. And we have a very exciting announcement that we are going to be reopening our Brooklyn location.
Brooklyn, the orphan child. Oh gosh.
They're feeling very abandoned, and
I feel very embarrassed. We are embarrassed to keep Brooklyn closed up for so long, but we just couldn't find anyone to work there.
But we have a wonderful new employee who is going to be starting there. Josh, he's been calling around to introduce himself to all of our clients. He's very excited. So August 23rd will be our first day open in Brooklyn. And we will be doing a grand reopening event on the weekend of that week. So the 25th and the 26th.
Grand sounds like discounts.
It sounds like something special for anyone who decides to show up that day. But
just for Brooklyn, right? Yeah.
So we're looking forward to seeing everyone there. We're going to do a friends and family event on Saturday the 26th. So we're very excited to get Brooklyn reopened.
Okay. And I'm considering. I haven't decided yet, but I'm considering. Been there.
Oh, gosh,
considering.
what have you said?
Considering. I haven't decided. So if I don't hold me to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that should cover all of our announcements.
Okay.
So we can get into things.
That was awesome. So before we get to Q&A, I know you all have questions in your mind. You should go ahead and type them in. If you don't ask us questions, we are going to take over the short time we have for the Q&A and talk about what we want to talk about, but we prefer to talk about what you want to talk about. So in the meantime, you're organizing your questions in your brain cells, and you're going to type them in so that we can see them and answer them. I'm going to give you a few tips. So when it comes to men's health, we don't talk about it as much since we resumed the Q&A. So men's prostate health tips that you all should keep in mind, men and women. Yes, women don't have prostate. Men do, but women, you have men in your lives, and you usually can tell when they're having issues with their prostate, and you can remind them or you can let them know. So these are some of the things that you should look out for. So prostate cancer is on the rise worldwide, and by 2025, it's projected to be a massive increase with prostate cancer, even in younger men in their 40s. So prostate cancer is no longer an old man thing. 70, 80-year-old, 90-year-old. It's no longer that. A lot of the men who come to me at NuSpecian with prostate cancer, most of them are in their 50s. And now it's dropping down into the 40s. Wow. Even these young men, 40s and 50s, a lot of them have stage 3, stage 4 cancer. And this is what we believe, this is why. Now, PSA below 1 is supposed to be the safe zone. It's not anymore. If you pull out your lab report now and look at the range for PSA, is 0 to 4 is normal, but not for a lot of men. And any black man who thinks that's normal for him, he's not being advised properly, and he should do research, and he will see that a lot of men are getting prostate cancer when the PSA is in the normal range, 0 to 4. I have hundreds, probably thousands of cases over the years that have proven that. So this is something we at NuSpecian know. So signs of prostate issues, even if your PSA is below 1, if you're having urine frequency, meaning that you're peeing more frequently than you always did, you usually drink your beers and your alcohol and your water. A lot of you would say, well, I drink water now, or I'm drinking more water. No, your body is still supposed to hold the urine when you're asleep. So if you're having frequent urination while it's waking you up at night, it means that you could have a prostate problem, even if your PSA is below 1. Urgency to urinate is another one. Low manhood or low libido is another one. And then if your PSA is over 1, you should be extremely concerned. If you have urine frequency, urine urgency, you should be extremely concerned that prostate cells are multiplying rapidly. The mutated ones, they're multiplying rapidly. That's why you have enlarged prostate. That's why you have BPH. That's why you have urine frequency. That's why you have urine urgency. That's why you have prostatitis. The prostate is bigger. It's enlarged. It's pushing against the, other body parts, causing the issues with the bladder and the urine. So if you have those issues, even if your PSA is in the normal range, you could have mutated cells, not malignant. Mutated mean sick cells that are multiplying rapidly, and that's why the prostate is enlarged. So if you have that issue, guys, this is one time when you should do self-diagnosis. your body is not functioning the way it used to. Something is wrong. And then, so PSA over 1 for black men, PSA over 4 for white men, usually is when a lot of the black men, PSA over 1, see prostate cancer, even though it's below 4. And then for white men, usually what I have seen for white men, PSA over 4 is when they generally start getting more prostate cancers. But this is not science, this is statistical. So any man of any culture can get prostate cancer with a PSA below 4, which is in the normal range. And that's what you all should take away from this. So prostatitis is an infection in the prostate. That too can lead to prostate cancer. So if you're diagnosed with prostatitis, the doctor can put you on antibiotics to kill the infection, whether it's bacterial or viral infection in the prostate. The prostatitis can lead to prostate cancer. We have hundreds of cases like that. So there you have it. Urine frequency, urine urgency, enlarged prostate, PSA elevated over 1, low manhood or low libido. If you have any one, it could be a sign of prostate cancer. If you have more than one, it is more likely your prostate is going to develop into prostate cancer. So all is not lost. You can still get help. You can call NuSpecian and we can help you through this disease process of the prostate. From early stage, you're having urine frequency, urgency. And by the way, a lot of men don't have any of these. A lot of men don't have urine frequency, don't have enlarged prostate, don't have low libido, don't have prostatitis, and they have prostate cancer. They just went in for a routine exam, and the doctors do a biopsy or an MRI, and they found prostate cancer.
Wow.
So guys, you have to be extremely careful. Just like with blood pressure, a lot of people who died from high blood pressure didn't know they have it. And the first symptom was death, massive heart attack or stroke. So all it takes for the prostate is one single mutated cell. Mutated means sick cell. The DNA structure has changed. The genetic structure has changed. Just one cell, and it can multiply rapidly over time and turn prostate cancer. So if you're having urine frequency, urgency, if you're having prostatitis, if you're having enlarged prostate and all these symptoms, when your PSA is below 1, it means your prostate is going bad. And it also means that by the time your PSA get to 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, you could already have prostate cancer building in the prostate. And now, singling out black men, that is one of the major reasons, if not the most significant reason, why the #1 cause of death for black men is prostate cancer. Is because the issue was there from the PSA was normal, and the doctors thought they were fine. And by the time the PSA gets to 4, and at 4 is when, for most doctors, a biopsy or an MRI is triggered. By the time they do the PSA check, in terms of biopsy or MRI with the PSA 4 and over, a lot of these men have prostate cancer. Some have stage 2 prostate cancer, stage 3, and even stage 4. Because it may take a PSA from below 1, it could take 5 years, 8 years, before the PSA gets to 4. So the cancer was building. All right, folks? So you need help, need more education, call NuSpecian, come to NuSpecian, get on my calendar if you want more education on this, and we will do the best to help you. Keep in mind that NuSpecian was initially created, invented by me because of my father's death from prostate cancer. He was diagnosed early, Mary.
Yeah.
And he did surgery and radiation. And the doctor said, you're going to be fine. You're going to live your long, full life. Well, it wasn't very long after that. The cancer spread through his body, his bone, his lung, his liver, his brain, and then he was gone. So the doctor was wrong.
Yeah.
And the doctor, supposedly, my big brother tells me, he was a Rhodes Scholar.
Oh, wow.
Rhodes Scholar from Oxford University in London, one of the best prostate doctor around. And I'm saying this to say to you that no one knows everything.
Yeah.
Only God knows everything.
Yeah.
So take care of yourself. You have the issue. We have starter packages that we can help you to take care of yourselves. All right?
All right. So I want to say good morning to everyone who's joined us in the chat. Good morning, June. Happy to have you with us. Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, Rosemary. Glad that you're all saying good morning. I'd love it if you posted a question as well. That'd be fantastic. But if not, we'll just keep talking about what we want to talk about.
Okay. So what do we have?
Let's see. I did want to ask one question about
Sure.
the prostate. So should it be 0 all the time if it's healthy?
No,
Or should it be like point something?
It should be 0 point anywhere from 4 to maybe 9, 8, 9.
Okay.
Yeah, so the PSA, the antigen, that's the level it should be. Once it climbs over 1, usually, a prostate problem has begun.
Okay.
In
And-
terms of inflammation, infection. But what we're seeing now, I'm not sure because of the COVID that people got exposed to and other medication and whatever else men are doing, a lot of men are now having prostate diseases with the PSA below 1 in that perfect normal zone. It's no longer a perfect normal safe zone.
Probably because our immune systems are being compromised.
Yes, a lot of us are walking around with the COVID virus was different. I think it has to do with a lot of these issues, like the blood cancers people are getting now. And now the government has, if you all go to the NIH, it's the National Institute of Health, and do research, just type in blood diseases and COVID, or blood disease and vaccine, and the government is saying, and a lot of scientific articles now, the government is saying that if you have blood cancers, you should not take the COVID vaccine because
Right.
it will make it worse.
Right.
Which leads a lot of people to think, so could it have caused it then? If it's going to make it worse, like sugar makes diabetes worse, like salt makes blood pressure worse, could it have caused it? Could the vaccines have caused it? But
Just got to ask the question.
I haven't seen any study that state
Yeah.
that the vaccine actually does that, cause it. But doctors are warned
Right.
that if people have any of the blood diseases like leukemia,
Right.
myeloma, they should avoid the vaccines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay.
Did I answer your question?
I think so, yeah. So one other question, which I'm sure that our ladies have and any men who might be listening is when should they start testing, like 25, 30?
I would say all men should start checking their prostate, their PSA at 35.
Okay.
And if they have a genetic predisposition like me with my father, they probably should do it at 30.
Yeah.
And same thing for men. For women who have breast cancer in the family, especially women who have dense breasts already, they should start, if they have dense breasts, they probably should start getting mammograms from their 30, 35, not 40.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then continuing on the same topic, we did have that one pre-submitted question from last week. What can I add to the prostate formula to address not emptying my bladder totally? What can be used for erectile dysfunction? This is from Owen.
Right. So those are two other symptoms I didn't mention of prostate issues or prostate cancer. So all these symptoms that I've mentioned, now we hear two more, that, there's a blockage or the urine is not flowing properly. And then we hear, ED. So those are two additional ones to urine frequency, urgency, enlarged prostate, prostatitis, right before we get to the question. So just so you all know, you can have all of those and don't have prostate cancer. I'm not saying that if you have those or any one of those, you automatically have prostate cancer. No, I'm not saying that. You can have all 6 of those and you do not have prostate cancer. Your PSA could be 20 and you don't have prostate cancer.
Because
Yes.
it's prostatitis?
Because it's the antigen that's causing the PSA to be so high. So high PSA doesn't mean someone has prostate cancer. It's just more likely they have it or will get it.
Can you explain antigen?
It's a protein the prostate produces, and it's the measurement, the medical system uses to decide the health of the prostate. If it's producing too much, like PSA 4 and over, they deem the prostate to be potentially cancerous, and that's why they do the MRI or the biopsy once the PSA touches 4 and over.
Okay.
So it's a protein the prostate produces.
Okay.
Yeah, they call it an antigen. It's abnormal. If it's above 1, PSA above 1, it's abnormal. The prostate is producing too much, which means that the prostate cells, the genes in the prostate cells are becoming mutated. They're deformed. They're damaged. The genes are damaged. So it becomes an abnormal protein that's being produced by the prostate. So the question is, what do you need to do? So if you have low manhood, or ED is different from low manhood. ED means that you just have a disease condition called ED, which is the worst case of manhood. So it means that, 1, the body may not be generating enough testosterone, because that's the most important hormone for men's health, or it could mean that the prostate is sick. The testosterone level could be normal, where the prostate is still sick. It's sick because of everything I just said. There's inflammation, there's infection, and the blood vessels in the prostate are dying, so it's not getting adequate blood circulation. And that's what manhood or ED issues have to do with, this low blood circulation to the prostate.
Okay.
That's one of the major causes, low blood circulation. So we have the big boy formula, we have the super big boy formula, we have the anti-inflammatory. Those are what we normally would recommend if someone has ED. But there are conditions to that. If you radiated the prostate because you had prostate cancer, if you surgically remove the prostate, then you're in an entirely different category that you should have a consultation with me. Because if you remove the prostate, if you did radiation on the prostate, the ED is almost automatic. It is automatic.
Right.
And it could be for a number of years, and for most men, it's for life. It means that they have lost their manhood for life because of the surgery or the radiation. So you should either way, you should talk to me. Now, if you have a healthy prostate, other than it's just enlarged, meaning it's swollen, then what you can do is, get the anti-inflammatory, and maybe get 15 or 30 of the big boy, super big boy, and then one of our RNs will follow up with you every couple weeks, and I'll follow up with you as well to make sure you're getting the results you need. But for ED, we should talk with you because we need to know what's causing the ED. The fact that the prostate is enlarged doesn't automatically create ED. ED means that testosterone could be low, or the dihydrotestosterone that the prostate is converting the testosterone to from the testicles. It could mean there's a problem with that as well. So these issues are never simple.
Right.
And that's why we get the results we get, because we consider all these factors before we make a recommendation to you. We're not just trying to take anyone's money. We want people to get help, and we want people, as you said earlier, to live better and longer. So you should get on my calendar if you you would like. I would hate to make the wrong recommendation to you if, since you have ED, you should get on my calendar. Because ED could be caused from high blood pressure,
Right.
could be caused from diabetes,
Medication.
from medication, especially if you're taking blood pressure medication. Blood pressure medication, your doctors will tell you, literally destroy manhood, and it damages the prostate severely.
Right.
So there are just so many reasons ED comes into play.
Right. Or if they're on Lupron for their prostate,
There
that
you
will
go.
do it too.
Oh, listen to you. You're exactly right. And that's the whole
Yeah.
point of Lupron.
It's to suppress the testosterone.
It's to suppress
Yeah.
the testosterone production, which means that it's automatic you're going to have ED.
Right.
So that's why you need to get on my calendar so we can talk about finding the root cause of the issue you have. For a lot of guys who come to us, they just need their testosterone to go up a few points and then they're fine. But for other guys, it could be pretty severe.
Right.
Yeah.
And is there anything you would add to those formulas for helping to empty the bladder, or just the prostate formula is what you would recommend?
Right. So the anti-inflammatory is the most important formula we have for the prostate. And some people may need the upgraded
Right.
anti-inflammatory depending on the severity of the blockage. You know, if the prostate gets enlarged and it's pushing against the urethra, and that's why the bladder can't empty when it needs to, and that's why there's a frequency. So the anti-inflammatory is the best formula we have for that. So some of you may need to get the upgraded one if it's severe. And then for blood circulation, they could add in the circulation formula,
Right.
probably along with the big boy, super big boy. But again, we need to know your exact situation because you mentioned the ED and that changes everything.
Right. That makes sense.
If you said low manhood, it means that you still have, let's say, a range of 10s, 1 to 10, 10 being the best. Low manhood could be you're at 5 or 4 or 6 or 7. But ED means you have nothing. You're pretty much 1 or 0. So something is causing that severe issue, and that's why we need to speak with you if you don't mind. Get on my calendar.
All right.
Yeah.
We do have a couple questions that came in.
And
in
then
the chat.
ladies, yes, thank you. And ladies, you have an abiding obligation to the men in your life to make sure they're doing everything to stay healthy. So when there's a performance issue, don't blame it on age and that they work so hard and they're stressed out. No. Have them check it out. Even if you have to tie them up, put them in the car trunk, and drive them to the emergency room or to the doctor, you have to protect them because women can be stubborn, and I'm not going to say the other word that's in my mind, but we can be very stubborn and silly. So, ladies, you have an obligation to protect us as well. Believe it or not.
We'll take that seriously. All right. So Rosemary has a couple questions for us.
Okay.
Her first question, what product can I take for vaginal dryness?
Queen Annie, Queen Annie, Queen Annie, Queen Annie. It means that the genes for the reproductive system, let's put it very broadly, they're out of whack. And if you're troubled with UTI, any kind of whatever is causing the UTI could also be damaging the genes. So usually a lot of ladies who come to us and they have dryness is because of they're troubled with UTIs and any kind of virus, bacteria, microbes, any kind of heavy inflammation could cause the genes to malfunction. So every condition that we humans get is genetic. Every single one. Genes are affected. Doesn't matter what. Genes are affected. And the genes are not doing what they should do. So the Queen Annie is our formula that balances a woman's hormones. And that's a good place to start. If you have a UTI or if you have had a UTI, you may need to get in the anti-inflammatory and maybe even the gut formula 1 or 2 to rebuild the immune system, to kill virus or bacteria, or to help to do the detox as well, to remove chemicals or toxins. So you see, none of these issues are simple. And that's why we have to do what we do in talking to you and like we're doing now, is to give education to you for you to think back through your medical history to see what's going on. And hopefully you ask these questions and we give you these responses. What we expect you to do is to go back to your doctors. Like the gentleman before, go back to your urologist. And for you, ma'am, Rosemary, go back to your OBGYN or whoever and discuss what we say. Is it because of the UTI? Do I have a UTI? Do I have a chronic hormonal issue? Do I have an endometrial problem? Do I have fibroids that's causing it? Do I have ovarian cyst that's damaging my ovaries so that my follicles, the FSH, they're not being produced adequately?
Right.
You see the complexity. It's a lot of issues there, and that's why we get the results we get, because we dig into these things. You come to us, we just don't say buy this, buy that. We don't do that because that won't help you, and it won't help us either, because you're going to take it for a month or two, and then you say, oh, they don't know what they're doing. I'm going to try something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we make a recommendation for you, if 1 month you don't see results, you should run to us. It means that something is missing, whether it's in your lab report. Maybe we need your MRI or a PET scan. Maybe we need your ultrasound. Something is missing why we didn't give you some help within that month. I'm not saying that the issue will go away, but you should start seeing changes for the better.
Right.
1 month. So yes, when it comes to, you could try the Queen Annie and maybe you do the vitamin D and the mineral complex with it. The vitamin D, usually a lot of men and women have low vitamin D, and every cell in our body has a vitamin D receptor. Mm-hmm. And vitamin D is not a vitamin, it's a hormone, and it can cause a man or a woman's body to start freaking out. The hormonal system just freak out because of low vitamin D. And then the immune system follows. It freaks out as well, because now our bodies are producing too much cortisol or steroids, and that suppress the immune system. And then the condition we have get worse. Whether it's UTI or a prostate issue, they all get worse because of this chain reaction.
Yeah.
You tell me if I'm giving too much information.
No, it's great. More
Okay.
information is better. I think
Okay.
once people start to understand how things work and interact, it just becomes much more real.
And everybody should be thinking now, okay, so when NuSpecian makes a recommendation, you come to NuSpecian with diabetes or your blood pressure or any health issue, this is the analysis we go through before we make a recommendation for you.
Because you're coming often because of a symptom, and a symptom is your body telling you that there's something deeper wrong, and we need to find out what that is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why we have starter packages, and that's why we have upgraded packages, because some people are worse than others. Some people are literally dying and they don't know. And that's why we have the upgraded packages like the God formulas and the more powerful formulas to help to rebuild the body faster, to give the person a chance. Mm-hmm. So, this education, this is all education, this Q&A for all of you. And this is the analysis we go through when we make a recommendation for you. When we look at your lab report or your images, or we listen to you tell us your health history, this is the analysis we go through. And that's why we have helped so many people around the world.
Yeah. Rosemary says she did see her OBGYN a few days ago, and there's no UTI.
Good. Yeah. So Queen Annie, vitamin D, mineral complex, and you should be fine.
Okay.
Those are going to help to rejuvenate the genes so that the proper hormones are being produced by the ovaries.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. And she has a second question.
Mm-hmm.
What product is good for an elderly person who has a cold?
So cold, infection, the basic we have, right, is the B vitamin, and the L-Nu. Mm-hmm. So they could, so she could start with the, you could start with the B vitamins with vitamin C in there, and the L-Nu 1, which is our basic rebuilder. You could start with those. Those are pretty exceptional. But if the person, older or not, it doesn't matter, if they've had this cough or infection for weeks and months and it's not going away, in addition to those, they're going to need the God Formula 1 or 4, or maybe even both, God Formula 1 and 4. If you have an ingrained infection and it's in the lung or the liver, it may only get worse. Especially if you look at the lab report and the WBC is low and other white blood cells are low, the neutrophil eosinophils are low, and then, those are some of the fighters of viruses. You may need to, if the L-1 with the B vitamins, if it doesn't help within a week, I would say 1-2 week max, she should be getting better.
Right.
And if she's not, you need to add in the God Formula 1 and 4. So the God Formula 4 is our antiviral formula, is our antiviral, antibacterial formula. And you add in the God Formula 1 to rebuild the immune system as well. So those two, if it's a chronic infection, those two formulas will help tremendously. Okay. But you could start with the B vitamins, with vitamin C and the L-1.
Right. I wouldn't think of it as like a solution to your symptoms. It's not gonna be the same as like a cold remedy that you would take to suppress your symptoms. It's actually going to help your immune system to fight off the cold. So you might still experience your symptoms until your body is able to fight it off.
Right. So that's a great point, because yes, you come to us with a headache. So later you come to us with your headache. We're not thinking about your headache. We don't even care about your headache. We care about what's causing your headache.
Right.
Like a lot of people come to us and they have sciatica and the pain in their legs and all of that. They can just the pain. That's the least of your issue. The real issue is the disc or the bones in your back that are pushing against the nerve. And if that's not fixed, eventually you're gonna get arthritis, or you could start develop other bodily issues because the nerves are being damaged. That's why you're having the pain, moving down into your legs or your arms or your shoulder or your fingers. So we don't think of symptoms at NuSpecian. We think of cause, the root cause, because once we fix the root cause, all the other issues go away. And that's why one person could come to us with 10 different issues and we fix one and all 10 issues are gone within 3 to 6 months or within a year.
Yeah.
Because we look at the root cause of the issue that cause, all the problems, all the health conditions you're taking medication for.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
And Rosemary asks if you can send the list of the products for the cold infection. Kayla can send those. If you need us to send you an email with the links after the show, Rosemary, if you want to share your contact or email Kayla, you can email her at kayla@newspecies.com.
And if you have, if you're buying NuSpecian for someone and you ask these, wonderful questions and you get our responses, you can share our responses with that person so they can hear what we say and they have a better understanding of why we're recommending what we recommend for them. That's another way to do it. Just share with them the link from the response, that you're getting from us.
Right.
If you would like, Rosemary.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So we don't have any more questions in the chat, and we're after 10:30. So unless you have more to expound on.
Boy, I could sit here for the next for the remainder of the year, and Kayla would hate me for that. Because she would have to sit there and record everything I say for that time. But no, just get your friends and family and the children, especially the children, the next generation, to listening to what we have to share with all of you. Children will understand. I have a 7-year-old that understands everything I say, and I don't speak in simple words around him, and he gets it. He may not understand the whole thing, but he gets the idea. So we do this Q&A, we do the education. Today we're going to be on the radio, and we're going to live stream our segments here, and get the children to listen in, and get your friends anywhere they are in the world, get them to tune in And you never know, you may be able to help them just by them listening. They don't have to ask any questions. And we just want to, make us all better and stronger so we can live better and longer.
Yes. Rosemary says that she is a NuSpecian and she's seen lots of benefits from taking the products. Thank you both. God bless.
Oh, thanks, Rosemary.
Thank you, Rosemary. That's a wonderful note to end on.
Okay. So every Saturday at 10, we'll be right here. And, of course, on Saturdays, we're doing streams now. We're on the I'm on the radio live, but we still stream because there are a lot of people who prefer our streaming service. So we're going to stream live the segments today from the radio at 1:50, 2:50, and 3:50.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And thank you for everyone who wasn't in the chat and was watching. Don't be shy. Next time, pop in and ask your questions and have a one. Oh, wait. We've got a question. Should we get Trevor?
All right, one
Sneaking
more.
in at the last minute.
One more.
What about the food that we eat? That's the biggest question you could possibly ask.
So we're going to answer that one on the next Q&A next Saturday.
Yeah, I think that's a full episode.
That's a whole... Trevor, you ever asked a question that just open up the skies? The skies are open. And it's everything. And that's why it's so important. It's everything. That question is everything. So we're going to keep it until next Saturday. And if you're not able to join, Trevor, we can send you the link.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Alrighty.
Thank you to everyone. Have a happy Saturday. Get outside. Thank you.